What up? Good morning and welcome back. Yes, I have not reviewed a pomade for like a month or so. And obviously, as you guys probably know, finally finished the quarter, finished up my finals, and so that's all put to the side now. And also, the prelude, my collaboration with Flagship Pomade Company, is now finished. It's now available to you guys, and so that one's kind of just like on its own now. And so, got some time, and basically wanted to reach out to some brewers. And today we'll be reviewing Red House water-based pomade. And this is their original formula. This is the thing. And I came across this product because a lot of people were pushing for it, but also within the community, there are always every once in a while some sort of brewer that pops up, some sort of like label that really is being mentioned a lot, being talked about a lot, and also just being praised a lot. And so, especially with those, you can't really ignore that. And so, I finally got my hair cut, and I wanted to go ahead and start reviewing something legit and already situated with them in terms of like kind of getting them basically working with us. So we already got a promo code available to you guys, same as things before, but we'll mention more about that at the end. But we'll go ahead and start off by looking at the jar. This is the jar. We have very clean labeling done on the clear vinyl. Is it vinyl? Yeah, it looks like vinyl. Red House water-based pomade. Directions and ingredients on one side, miscellaneous labeling on the other. It's made in Kentucky, homebrewed of course, in a 4-ounce amber glass jar. And opening up, you see it has a nice like white, off-white, but very creamy look to it. When I first saw it, it reminded me a lot of Anchors, but after trying it, it's definitely different. It's definitely different from many of the other water bases we've seen, but we'll talk about that more later. So let's go ahead and start using it. The scent of this pomade officially is like vanilla tobacco. And I definitely see like the vanilla, I get a hint of cinnamon. The smoothness reminds me of like a mix between like vanilla and tobacco, but overall, it's like a really nice scent. Definitely on the sweet end. So this is towards the sweet end, but definitely different from like the citrus, like the fruity stuff like you've also seen. But yeah, scooping it out, like I mentioned before, like it looked a lot like Anchors, but then once scooping it out, it kind of feels like a halfway between kind of Suavecito Premium and like Anchors. And I feel like for some reason, after I started using it and trying it out, it's reminded me a lot of Suavecito Premium, or more accurately, what Suavecito Premium should have been like. Because that one was definitely a huge disappointment. And it was essentially a gel pomade with a little bit of like oil in it that made it kind of tacky, kind of sticky, but still basically dry up. And this one has like a similar consistency when you like scoop it out, but it performs like a really nice, like still like I would describe it as like a good like solid medium hold, but still kind of like really soft water like based product. And that's a nice thing about like these water based products in comparison to gel pomades, that like they have a softness to them, they're easier to work with, they're not harsh. And it's a big reason why, like, though gel pomades are convenient, I don't use them. And though the Suavecito Premium's like super convenient given its like gel pomade like foundation, it's still not a product I've used since. But yeah, obviously as you can tell, it applies really easily. Scoops out of the jar real easily. Scent is nice and strong. And just so far it's really easy to work with. Breaks down real easy in the hands. And I'm going to try to make sure to get a good amount down at the roots. And we will have some hair on the sides to kind of slick down, so we'll kind of see that, because it was a skin fade again, but was kept much lower than before, kind of like a halfway between when I first got the taper and when I got like the pretty high like skin fade, or fade from skin rather. Go ahead, clean my hands, so go ahead and start slicking it back, just to make sure the product's evenly distributed and everything's done right. As you can see, everything comes back real easy. Like, I mean, real soft. So go ahead and start forming the part now. And we see that forms real nicely. It's not like a super strong product, definitely like a solid medium as I mentioned before, but it has enough weight into it to help sit down my sides. And now we'll go ahead and start styling. And we'll go ahead and call it done there. And I mean, shit looks good. I mean, you really see how round you can get it. You get some real good shape. And it's a medium weight, but you still get good volume. It's not overly sticky. This has actually been one of the smoothest styling processes I've had with like a slick product in quite a while. I mean, also the haircut comes into play, of course. But like everything looks pretty nice. Kept together. It's a definitely slick product. You don't get many stray hairs at all, and it still has good volume. A really nice balance between like hold and like the weight. Because with like a medium hold pomade, a lot of people are tempted to just like add a bunch of hold and just go crazy. But for medium hold, what you really try to do is balance between like not just the hold with itself, but the hold and the weight. Because those two work together and those two play into kind of how tall your pomp is and how solid it looks. But yeah, damn. So go ahead, go throughout the day and test out how long this thing actually lasts and whether it can kind of just is resilient enough to endure the entire day. But see you guys in a few hours. I'm back now, end of the day, so let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this pomade during the day. So as we can see, I mean, things are falling apart, and actually I've seen this with basically every single one of my medium weight pomades. Just, I don't know what it is, but ever since I really started going with the shorter sides, maybe it's just like my approach on things, but I just haven't really had a medium weight pomade or even like a kind of heavier medium weight last the whole day. It's just, I think it has to more just do like whether or not I'm really trying to keep it like in full form throughout the whole day. So I've been just more careless and just letting it kind of just fall apart because ever since I first started using the clays, I started to see the more unique aesthetics of kind of just a messy pomp. And the nice thing about like a water-based like product is that like when it was like kind of all falling apart, it still has a nice aesthetic to it. It's not a super greasy, oily mess. It still has like a nice flow to it, and that's one of the biggest reasons why like I mostly just use water-based products like during the week, and even more so like clays. But if I do use like a normal pomade, like one of these products, which are quote quote slick, I will opt with something like this, something similar to Crystal Lake, something similar to like Old Dude's water-based, some of the more versatile like water-based products. But if you do want to restyle, like it's obviously really easy. I mean, this is a water-based pomade, not like a gel pomade, and so you can still like form like a nice pomp out of it, still do a lot of work with it. But what I typically do is just restyle to some extent, and then finger comb the rest in, just because. I mean, there's like a nice aesthetic to it. There's a nice flow to it, and the thing is, with many products, and this is no exception, when you restyle it, you're not going to get the full strength, the full volume that you once had in the morning. There's like a kind of similar to Crystal Lake, there's a kind of like a conditioner effect of the product to your hair, which really softens it up, makes it feel nice, but it also kind of prevents it from really getting nice tall in this ways that other harsher products get you. But yeah, so endurance, like it'll last you about like half the day. I say like about like 3 to 4 hours, like 4 hours max. Restylability is really easy. You can go either way because it's one of the really versatile like water-based like pomades. You can go any sort of direction with it, whether you want to go back to a slick like type of hairstyle and fix it into that, or you want to just go ahead and mess it up and go into like a finger comb, a more looser textured style. Hardness obviously doesn't dry up at all, doesn't like harden up in any way at all. It's also nice because there's a bit of shine to it. I know I forgot to mention this before. Like there is like a touch of shine. It's definitely there, but it's still not a greasy product. Kind of like a halfway between the Old Dude's Water Base and the Sheer Revival Crystal Lake in terms of that like characteristic. Washing it out, I already tried that out, washes out. Even if you just use water, it washes out completely, which is super convenient. But yeah, overall, like, it receives my seal of approval. It's a really versatile like water base, and the reason why I use water based products is for their versatility, and this one definitely has it. And is a nice balance between like what we see some like the drier like water based like pomades, like Black Ship, Old Deuce water base, and some of like the more slick ones like Crystal Lake. And so this is a nice balance in between, and also with a great scent that is still present but really really light. And overall, like, I like it a lot. But yeah, so of course, like I mentioned before in the video, at the beginning, promo code available to you guys, the Pomp all caps available to use with Red House to save some money when you order their product if you choose to. I would highly recommend it. It's definitely one of the like better water based products and among the ones that you should definitely try out. So other than that, hope you guys got something out of this review. Definitely a brand to be checking out. New to the community, but definitely not to be overlooked. So take care, guys, and peace out.